What's up, world? Hope everybody is good out there. This is Corey Harris with The Transition, a real resource for coaches. And I got a special treat. I got a good friend of mine and somebody that I just have an immense amount of respect for, my man, DJ White. He's currently working as an assistant coach and video coordinator with the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA. He's got a busy schedule right now. He's traveling on the road, but he's here to chop it up with us one-on-one. DJ, thank you so much, man. Welcome to the Transition Podcast. Appreciate you, my brother.
Nah, thanks for having me, man. When you mentioned to me you wanted to do this, I signed up for it right away. So anything you need, I'm there for you.
For sure. He's not lying. That's not cap. As soon as I asked him, it was like, oh yeah, just tell me what to do. So real quick, before I even start asking questions, I just want the people to know how we met. It's really God. Like the fact that we connected through a mutual friend. Shout out to Manny Harris. Who's out there playing, I think, in either Taiwan or Korea. But, worked with Manny. And when I say worked with, Manny will laugh at it too. Like, Manny the type of person, like, some days I don't know what I'm going to get. But we have a working relationship. I'll put it like that. And, man, Manny was kind enough just to let you know that I was in the Atlanta area when you made that move. And, bro, it was a blessing ever since. Like, just your professionalism, the way you approach your craft as a player. And then now being in this position where we can talk about your transition into coaching, it's amazing. So I just wanted to make sure people knew like how we connected. So, bro, let me ask you, how you feeling first off? Because I don't know if you're a fan or not, but how you feeling with Alabama not being in the college football playoff for the first time in like a decade?
First off, I'm a huge Alabama football fan.
Okay.
Tuscaloosa born. I didn't go there. I didn't go to Alabama, but I grew up 10, 15 minutes away from the university. That's like my NFL team. I'm not an NFL fan. So roll tide. I'm hurt. I'm really hurt. Because I had hope we was going to make it. I don't think Ohio State should be in. No way. We lost 2 games by 4 points or less. They got a blowout at home. I'm making my case. But we gonna keep rolling, man. We just gonna keep rolling and see what happens next year, man.
For sure.
If this bowl game, man, we just championship.
That's right. If the selection committee for the college football plan is listening, DJ White just made a case. Like, look, we lost the games 4 points or less. Ohio State getting blown out. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying.
We should be there. And we bringing money. Our fans coming. TCU
that's right.
Coming like that, man. They play us this year. So, man, it's tough. It is what it is. We got next year, though.
I love it. So I'm going to use that as a good segue. Like you said, Tuscaloosa, born and raised, Alabama is in your blood. Tell me about your origins. Tell me about what's it like growing up and playing in a football state, right, at a time where there weren't a lot of guys, a lot of Alabama products, coming out the way you did.
Yeah, man. So Tuscaloosa, born and raised, football country. It was, I remember, and I can bring it back in a second to how I grew up or whatever, but I just speaking on the basketball part, I just remember it was all football. I even wanted to play football at first.
Word.
But they said they was going to put me on the offensive line. I wasn't going for that. So I switched over to basketball. But even me coming out, I had a name or whatever, but it really wasn't no hype behind me because of that, just because it was just all football. So I think that played a part in me of, even though I love the University of Alabama, I still root for them now. That played a part in me wanting to leave and not continue my go to college there. It's just because it wasn't basketball focused. It was all on football. It was all about football.
Yeah.
And even the basketball team there, then they were okay, but not like they are now. I think they're top 10, top 15 right now. Their program is taking off. So it was just different, back in the day growing up there. Still football focused. Hopefully, basketball can continue to grow, prospects continue to come, but that's kind of the main reason why I wanted to get out and get away from that.
Who put the ball in your hands?
My father used to play.
Okay.
My father played. He made it to the high school level, but I used to, when I was younger, At like 7. He used to always go play with his guys. They just go to the rec and hoop. I
Yeah.
was there. And just over time, I just gained, the love for the game. At first, I was playing baseball. Then I started playing basketball. And I just started gaining the love for it. But what really took me off, and man, I got so lucky. My high school coach was a college coach. He coached at the University of Miami. He coached at Alabama. He coached at
Mm.
Wyoming. Just so happened by the luck of it, I guess that's how my story is supposed to go. He was a high school coach when I was in middle school. I'm in 7th grade. He saw me play, and I'm terrible at this point. To me, I got glass. I'm playing with glasses and a strap on to keep my glasses.
Uh,
And he came to one of my games, 7th grade. He was like, "Yo, you got a chance to be really good." And like I said before that, I just like basketball. And he put that bug in my ear. He just kept talking to me. Went to bat for me. He made me. He went to battle for me in the 8th grade. I played on the 9th grade team at the high school. I used to walk over every day, and he just, hey, you can be good. You can be good at this. So because of him, his name is Staff Fitzpatrick. Is when I really, really got into it, and I really started believing in myself, and I just took off from there.
Bro, that's funny and amazing at the same time. Like just imagining you first off with some glasses with the string on there running up and down the court. But the simple fact that you even now as a grown man, like you got that awareness that that's not normal to have somebody in your backyard that coached at these various levels. Like they've seen it, been there, done it, and now you getting to learn from them. Talk to like the way that maybe more people need to like go back or at least create some type of pipeline, you know what I mean, for that information to still get to places like Tuscaloosa or just like the South in general. I feel like for years it's been cut off from like what the Northeast or the West Coast has always had with when it comes to basketball.
I just feel like it's just like giving back. Uh, like I feel like he came back to coach. That's his roots is he's from Alabama. I think just guys doing that, even me, guys in my position, just trying to go back and give back and talk to these kids about the path that I took or path that other people took or things that we see. I think that's a problem that a lot of these communities have is a lot of the guys don't really come back and try to show people the way because you don't know the way
Right.
unless somebody is there kind of guiding you or helping you. So I think that plays a part in it as well. Just trying to help the next generation. I think that's very important now, especially I think we talked about this now with just so much stuff going on and social media and believing all this and that. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff going on these days. So I just think we got to bring it back to the root of things. Of I won't say how it used to be, but just really diving into getting better and different things like that.
For sure. You got to show them it ain't no magic tricks involved.
That's
Ain't no
true. Right.
shortcuts.
It's a lot of shortcuts if you look on the internet. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
Like, a lot
Facts.
of a lot of people really not diving into it. Like I tell people the story. I mean, I'm sure like for me, and this, like I said, this is because of my coach. I didn't know how to work, you
Mm.
know, but because of him, I was working out before school. Working out before school, we worked out for a period. Then we worked out after school. No cameras, no nothing, just really grinding before school because I wanted it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just feel like kids got to get back to that. I know I get the NIL and all that stuff is different now. It's about
Right.
the money, but we got to enjoy this thing. It's the journey.
That's
And
facts.
enjoy the journey.
That's facts. Talk about becoming a McDonald's All-American. Like, I don't even think people understand the weight of that no more because like it's even different now than it was at
Yeah.
that time, like early 2000s. Like that was a big deal to be named. You know what I mean? A McDonald's All-American. Like talk about what that meant to you, your family. I mean, obviously, like you said, Alabama ain't seen nothing like that, and so maybe there wasn't as much fanfare. I don't know, but speak to that experience.
Man, it meant so much to me, to be honest, man. Like when you think about it, and not to boast, but I'm just very proud of that. you're a top 25 player in the entire country. When you look at how many kids are playing high school basketball, and I was 1 out of 24. I think it's 24. 1 out of 24, man. It was special, and then my class was very special as well. So to
Loaded.
me, to be in that class, I think we had 6 or 7 guys go straight to the league out of my class, and some of the guys didn't make that McDonald's game who went. So man, it was a big accomplishment for me, you know, and that was one of the things that I worked for going into high school. You know, get a scholarship. I want to be a top player, and I was able to do it. So I mean, our class was Dwight Howard, Josh Smith, Al Jefferson, Rudy Gay, J.R. Smith,
Rondo,
Sean Livingston, Darrell Wright went straight out of the league. He wasn't in that game. He went straight to the league. He wasn't in that game. Man, we had
Sebastian Telfair.
Telfair, man. We had a load. That's what I'm forgetting names. We had a crazy, crazy, crazy class, man. To be up there with those guys and what they've done in their professional career, man, it means a lot. Means a lot for sure.
No, man. In order to be an All-American at that time, and I don't never put down no class, no era of basketball, you know what I mean? But to be a All-American at that time, you had to be a dog. Like back then, when y'all were coming up, bro, like everybody knew how to play. Everybody on that level. Like it's no more cats jumping from high school to the league. And I'm not saying that they couldn't. There's still some. You look at the Anthony Edwards of the world, like there's some guys that's ready at 18, you know what I mean? They just go into college just because that's the rule. But back then, if a cat was like, you know, on the edge of thinking about, should I go to college? Should I go pro? Like there were a lot, it just seemed like guys were more ready, you know what I mean? Physically, mentally, you know what I mean? So to be top 24, that's huge, bro. That's huge. And you should be proud of that. Should be.
And another thing on that, it just made me think that was the era too, where I don't know how it is now in AAU or the summer circuit, but I think it's changed. But back in my day, around that time, this is when we were seeking out people.
Right.
If you got a rank, you ranked above me or you close to me, I'm trying to go to Peach Jam or Memorial Day tournament to find you. We not teaming up. We didn't do that back when I was coming in. You know, I'm trying to find out, and I found the wrong person. I found Dwight Howard. I wasn't ready.
Keep it a buck. Keep it 100.
I wasn't ready. But I was, you know, but we were seeking each other out. Like, I forgot LaMarcus Aldridge, Big Baby. Like, we all going at it. Like, we trying to find each other. And, you know, now, you know, I understand the time is different. I'm just speaking on back then as
facts.
We were competing, like we're trying to go at each other's throat. You know what I mean? So kind of bring it back to old memories, but that's how we did it. We seeking each other out. We want to go against each other. We had the NBA camp top 100. All those guys was there. We going at it. Our McDonald's game practice. Whew, I wish we had video of that. We going at each other, you know. So I don't know. I feel like that little competitive part has changed. You know what I mean? So
So you had a hit list, basically what you're saying, like LaMarcus Aldridge, Dwight Howard, Randolph Moore, like Al Jefferson. You knew.
I knew those guys. Big Baby, like we went at each other. We were, like I said, I ran up against Dwight. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, but yeah, man, we knew. And we knew when we played each other. I remember me and Big Al going at it at Nike camp. You know what I mean? Just, even the older class, I remember going against Lou Aldine. We know who we are, but it's competitive. But we respected each other. You know what I mean? So I love that about that era back in the day.
Talk about those shoe camps. Like you said, Nike had the ABCD. You had Adidas. Talk about those, like, it's not like that no more. And I know, like you said, like you might not know how it is, but like there's so many camps now. Like back then it was condensed where you had to fight just to even get invited to that. And then once you got there, you had to fight just for your life, basically.
That's true, man. I was on the Nike circuit. I never played at ABCD. I remember, so my 9th grade year, it was something called Junior Nike in St. Louis. They
Okay.
took like 10 people from there to go to Big Nike. I was one of them. Me, Shannon Brown. There's a couple names I remember. Shannon Brown, Chris Humphreys. That's the guys I really remember. We go to Big Nike, and this is like, and they had you in like different groups, like of 3 groups. So I was young, so then they put me in this group. But I remember Amari Stoudemire was there, and you ever heard the name Shavlik Randolph?
Yeah, from Duke,
From Duke.
big white guy. Yeah, been
So
overseas for a minute.
this is why I was back to my point about how people used to go at each other. They say Shavlik was better than this one. He was calling himself Stats. Amari Stoudemire
Yeah. I remember that.
destroyed him, right? Like that's one of my favorite memories of Nike camp. Like everybody standing around because it's 1 versus 2. Shavlik supposed he's doing everything. So man, that was cool. But yeah, the Nike camp, man, it's the guys from everywhere. Like a lot of the guys who made it to the league, did good in college. You know, we there competing against each other. You got all the college coaches around in one spot, so you bring in your A game. You know, so that was pretty cool, man. I didn't bring me back down memory lane. Just those steps to get to where you are, and that was part of that journey, man. Just you can't hide. You couldn't hide. There was no hiding.
Did they have y'all in like the dorms? Did they have y'all on like a college campus dormed up? Or how was it?
We stayed at a hotel.
Okay.
They had us in a hotel, yeah.
Okay.
Like for NBA camp, we was in dorms, the top 100. But for the Nike camp, they put us in hotels, 2 to a room.
That's what's up. What's up. Yeah, I remember Shavlik. Shavlik was there my first year in China, actually. He was playing for the second Beijing team. And man, I had forgot all about him. But yeah, back in the day, I was a big name player, you know what I mean? Coming out of high school, Duke commit, you know, they thought he was next. They crowned him, but Amari was different, man. Amari was different.
He really was.
Big hands, athletic. It's kind of like a David Robinson type prototype, you know, run the floor, freak athlete, fast jump, you know, man. Yeah, standing tall and talented. I think that's what
that's what he called himself then.
Facts. But now he's just like you on the sidelines, coaching, giving it back to the next generation.
Yep, I think he's with the Nets, or he was with
He was. Yeah, I'm not sure where he is now, but shout out to him. So talk to me then about Indiana, because like you said before, huge Alabama fan growing up. Right, that's probably where you wanted to be, but at the same time, you wanted to go where there was love. You wanted to go where there's probably like, you know, more focus on basketball than football. So talk to us about, you know, your decision to go to Indiana.
When I stepped on that campus, I knew what time it was. It just felt it felt right. It felt right.
Where you take your visits at? I'm sorry, where did you visit?
I didn't need to. I knew where it was. Like I had a top 3-5 that I liked, but at that time it was like I don't even want to waste nobody's time. I knew where I was going. Like people came to see me. North Carolina came to see me. Billy Donovan when he was at Florida, Alabama, Auburn. You know I was right there, Mississippi State. All those teams, Kentucky. But I didn't even waste my time going to their campus. I knew when I first went on that campus. They had a Nike tournament back in the day, Memorial Day Classic or something like that. And I got a chance to be on campus. I just felt at home. People showed me love. Then when I came for my first game, it was really over. So just being at Assembly Hall, you know, I never played. Well, our crowds in high school. I mean, we had packed gyms, don't get me wrong, but it's not 17,000, 18,000. That was. Just being in there watching those games, I just knew that's where I wanted to be. So I knew early that's where I wanted to go, and I just got it out the way early. So that's why.
That's different, bro. That's different for McDonald's All-American not to take a visit.
Didn't go nowhere, man. I mean, I'm right there on campus at Tuscaloosa, so
yeah,
I know what that's.
Yeah.
I went to games there, but anywhere else, like they wanted me to come to campus. I was a homebody too. I'm a country boy, so I wasn't used to going nowhere either. So I kind of just stayed away from all that. So
I got you. It makes sense. So did you come in the same year as Eric Gordon? Y'all were
no,
freshmen together?
I'm older than him. He
Got
came
you.
out last year in school.
That was
And,
07 when he came?
yeah, he came in '07. That
Got
was
you.
when we played 1 year. I was on the way out then.
So then talk about, like, I guess y'all were building culture, or maybe were y'all already like an established top 25 team in the nation when you came in? Like, what was the trajectory when you got there?
They had just came off a Final Four in 2002.
Okay.
And that's another reason why I was like, oh man. Another backstory is my high school coach with Mike Davis at Alabama. So that was a backstory too. And I knew Coach Davis' son. So there's a lot going on that kind of pointed me to that direction. They were good. Like I said, 2002, they made the Final Four. The next year, they were okay. Started getting recruits. They had Bracy Wright was a big recruit before I got there. But Coach Davis had to take over after Bob Knight, and that's a tough task.
Right.
So anything, if he wasn't up to that par, it was tough for him as a new coach. The first coach after him. This. So we kind of went down after my freshman year, and then middle of my sophomore year, I got hurt. I was out for the season. That really was going to be our best year. We had Marco Killingsworth. He transferred in from Auburn. We had a veteran team, and then they got rid of Coach Davis. So
Got you.
that second year, so I had 3 coaches in 4. I only played 3 years, but I was there 4. Out of those 4 years, I had 3 different coaches. So,
wow.
It was a lot going on, but I fought through it.
Yeah. Talk about that mindset to deal with that constant change, because I know that there are probably players listening to this, and college is a monster. You might get recruited by one person, and then you get there and the situation changes. How did you not get caught, especially at that time too, because the transfer portal was not the place to be back in them days. So how did you weather that storm and stay locked in and still, I mean, you came out of it a NBA draft prospect. So like, talk to that.
I just had to focus on the goal. At the end of the day, I did come there to play with Coach Davis, but he left and went to UAB, and me leaving, to go to UAB wasn't going to be good for me and my career going forward. So I just really locked in and figured that whoever comes in, is just part of my journey. That's part of my journey, and I got to just lock in and do what I'm gonna do. If I take care of my business, then I felt that I would be okay, and I ended up okay. And actually, Coach Sampson came in. He's at Houston right now, man. That was a blessing in disguise.
Legend.
Yeah, he really changed me as far as a player, my mindset on the game. So that's what says a blessing in disguise, man. Like, he ended up leaving the next year, and then somebody else came in to finish. But man, I'm so thankful that he came and that I was able to buy into what he was saying. And I just continue to get better and better. That's one thing I say about when situations happen in basketball, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're going to go through a good streak and go through a bad streak, but work your way out of it. Don't run, work your way out of it. That's just how I personally do it. I just work my way out of it. Get in the gym. It's going you put the work in, it's going to take care of itself. And that's just what I try to do during all that time.
I love that. Do you feel like players nowadays are running a lot of times in those type of situations?
Yeah, I get it. Like, it's a different day and age, man. You got the portal. It's easy if I don't play to hop in the portal. Sometimes it's beneficial, for those guys. You could go to a different school and be on a different, you get different attention or whatnot. It might be better for you, but some situations I do feel like it's running, and and in life is always going to be adversity. And it's how you handle it. In life you can't run into a portal. So I feel like that's part of the teaching and the journey is, if you can stick it out, stick it out, try to go through because some guys in the portal every year.
Mm.
That's you running from adversity. You can't make that a habit. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's just how I feel about some of that stuff going on today. But at the same
Absolutely.
time, I get it. I understand some of it, but I was just the type of person, I just try to run straight through that adversity and whatever's going on.
Bro, that's a bar. He said in life, you ain't no portal. That's a bar. I tried to keep it cool, but I was like, ooh, like that's a bar.
You write that down.
Yeah, bro. I might have to like get some bread together so you don't hit me for trademarking or copywriting because that was a bar. Golly. Oh, okay. So Coach Sampson, you talked about his impact. Talk about just that turnaround, man, from, the team struggling, you being hurt, to then playing with another McDonald's All-American, another, top 10 player in the nation in EG. And then I think you guys had Jordan Crawford too. Like
Jordan Crawford also.
Y'all were loaded, bro.
Yeah, this was my most talented team.
Okay.
So, I mean, the year before we made it to the final. No, I'm sorry, I was about to say the Final Four. That's a lie. We made it to we made it to the NCAA tournament round of 32. I think we lost. Who did we lose to? We lost to UCLA, Westbrook, and them. And then that next year is when Eric came in, and I knew this was gonna be my last year in school. So like I said, I just hit it hard. Team USA that summer. I knew I had Eric coming in. I didn't know Jordan was gonna be that good. Shout out JC, that's my guy. JC is a great player, man. I didn't know he was gonna be that good until he stepped on campus.
Wow.
And we had a lot of guys also that could play. That team was very, very special. 3 first-round picks, a lot of guys that really could hoop. 2 guys from Chicago. Shout out Tone and Big Dre. And we just came together, a lot of hungry guys. Man, we was 20, 21, something like that, 18-2, somewhere up there, top 7 team in the country, and they let him go. In the middle of that year, like we up and up and up and up. Thought it was Eric Gordon, best freshman in the country.
Yeah.
And that happened. But again, adversity, what you do, you just gotta keep hooping. Kept playing, ended up being Big Ten Player of the Year. But yeah, that year, man, I wish we could have kept it all together. So who knows what would have happened. Coach Sampson, he had us right, man. He was different. Shout out Coach Sampson. He used to he still does. I know he does. He'll put a bubble on both rims. The ball can't go in, and we just used to go at it, and that's what he just brought toughness to the team, brought toughness to me, and we just used to do that rebound and physical. You can't score no bucket. What you gonna do? You gotta get stops and rebounds. So he just had that team right, man, and it didn't end up how we wanted to, but it taught us all lessons though, for sure.
No, that's powerful. That's powerful. Shout out to Coach Sampson. Shout out to JC. EG still doing it. Like
EG still doing it. Yeah,
that's crazy to think about his impact on that university at a time where one and done was a scary thing, right? Like you had half the coaching world back then was like against it, probably more than half. And then, you had a few who were like for it and for the athletes, and their well-being. But, EG definitely blazed that trail. Yeah, it was some other guys that same year too doing the same
Rose. That's the class that really started the one and done, I feel like.
That 07 class.
Yeah, we almost had Derrick Rose. I thought we had him, man.
Wow.
I thought we had him. Because, him and EG played together.
Mean Streets.
Mean Streets, that's right.
Yeah.
And we had him on a visit. It went well. I thought we had him, but
that would have been crazy. What?
Oh my God. People be talking like, yeah, it was between us and Memphis, but he chose Memphis. That was his path. But I wish he would have came.
Oh my God.
But, yeah, he almost came.
Boy, you would have got so many dunks, so many lobs.
Easy. They might have turned me into a top 10 pick on doing that. So, yeah, man, that was was the time then. But you know, it was unfortunate how it ended. Um, but hey, it happens for a reason, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like when it comes to, and I don't like to use the terms like scandal because I feel like it's overused, but when you feel like, you know, it's black coaches or, you know, African American coaches in certain situations that like the rug gets pulled out a lot quicker and a lot faster than maybe it does in other situations where we see coaches that, man, they're there at universities or they're getting jobs like that, you know, at
Yeah.
another Power Five school for stuff that I don't know,
Yeah.
that should get you thrown under the jail. And I ain't trying to turn it into a race thing, but it's just like it's a clear topic of discussion within basketball. I think we all are aware of it. Like, you know, you typically don't get as many chances. You know
No,
what I
you
mean?
don't. I think I agree with that in certain in instances for sure. That's just like the Rooney Rule in football. What is
Mm-hmm.
that? You know what I mean? That's just like Coach Sampson. You know, a lot of Indiana fans, you know, they feel a certain way about him, about how he left, and you know, after he left, the program went down. But the same thing he got fired for is legal now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's phone calls. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's that type of stuff, man. You just you know, will it ever change? Who knows? The should
Yeah,
it change? Yes, it should change. You know, it should be
yeah,
equal opportunity everywhere,
yeah,
and that's all you can ask for is equal opportunity
for sure.
across the board. So
For sure.
hopefully we can get to that.
Yeah. Shout out to him again, man. Legend in the game, you
No
know,
doubt.
always works with integrity, you know, and
Yeah.
puts the players first. Every school he's been at is constantly about the integrity of the players and their well-being. Um, I don't want to skip too far forward, but talk about you were inducted into the Hall of Fame at University of Indiana. Like, bro, that's how many people can say they're in the Hall of Fame in anything? You know what I
True.
mean? Like talk about that, the legacy of the university, and now basically you being etched in its history. Like that's crazy.
That means a lot. I remember when I got the phone call. I had no idea. I had a hell of a week when I got that phone call too. I retired. I got the job I have now, and then I got that phone call all in the span of a week and a half.
Wow.
But it means a lot, man. You know, Indiana. I guess not recently, but the history of the basketball. You know, we had some, you know, some guys that did very well. You know, Calvert Change, Isaiah Thomas, the coach there, the coach Woodson there now. Guys like that. So have my name up there with them. You know, it means a lot. Especially coming from the South, they um, welcome me with open arms. It's just a place where I grew up. I grew up as a man. I grew up from a kid to a man, so that place is always gonna hold special in my heart. You know, just the memories from there. It's just me. Really means a lot, man. It's just
Yeah,
powerful and being inducted into a Hall of Fame. So that was pretty. It's pretty cool. And then my family
for
was
sure.
there. My kids. That's the good thing about it. My kids were able to see it, and they at the age now, except my youngest, that two oldest, they'll remember that they had a great time there. My wife, I didn't meet her there, but you know she was able to go back and see that type of thing. So man, it was pretty cool.
For
It was
sure. For sure. Salute to you on that, man. That's legendary status. So
cool.
you close the chapter at Indiana, you make the decision to come out and go to the draft. Talk about that process. You know, you were picked by OKC. What was that like?
Man, dream come true.
Yeah.
Uh, to you know, that's what a lot of people play this game for. I mean, you want to go to the league, you know, and just to have that opportunity to get drafted. I was sweating there at first that night. Ended up going first round. I could have went between 17 and 30 or whatever, or 35. Ended up going first round. Ended up in a great spot. But you know, it's just blessed to be in that position. But again, right after that, man, literally 2 3 months after that, adversity hit again. I had a benign tumor in my jaw. Basically, missed all of my. I played maybe 7 games of my rookie year, so it went from the dream to boom, back down to reality that quick. About anything in this game can happen that quick, and that taught me another valuable lesson, just to cherish where you are, you know, be where your feet are, you know,
Yeah.
you know, that hit me real quick. I didn't get to enjoy that first year like I wanted to
Yeah.
going out of the draft.
Where does that faith come from? Like that perseverance, that consistency, that steadfastness. Who taught you that? Where does that come from?
Man, just growing up in the church, man, just believing. You know, my family, you know, was big on, you know, big believers, going to church, togetherness. You know, my family's very together. I mean, we still meet for Sunday dinners and stuff, things like that, like back in the
Word.
old. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they still do. So, you know, that's where that belief come from, and just having been through things in life, just knowing, you know, I'm gonna come out of this on the right side of this always. You know, there's gonna be trials and tribulations, but just knowing I'm gonna come through, just always having belief. I feel like
Yeah.
that's my roots of being from where I grew up from. I think that plays a part in it.
For sure. For sure. Love that, man. Like for those that didn't grow up in the South, they may not understand how lovely them Sunday
Yeah,
uh them Sunday meals are, but it's so much more than just the food. Is the tradition that's passed down, is hearing
yeah.
from your elders, learning from just people who have seen life. Maybe
Right,
they ain't never made 6, 7 figures. They ain't never
right,
been drafted. Right.
right.
But it's like they always got something for whatever you going through, whatever you facing, you know what I mean? Just knowing that, again, like that source that you draw from, you know, the man above, like he ain't gonna never leave you nor forsake you. That's powerful, bro. That's
True.
big time. What was it like being on that OKC team with future Hall of Famers? Like it first off, it was an expansion team, right? They relocated from Seattle.
Yep.
You got young KD,
Hmm.
young Russell Westbrook, and young James Harden.
Yeah, he
Like,
came in the second year.
what, bro? Whatever you got, I'm all ears. Like,
Man, it was cool, man, because we all were like, that was a young team. It was like you
mm-hmm.
said, those guys. Then you had Eric Maynard, who's on staff with me now at OKC.
Shout out to
Um,
E.
you had Jeff Green, Serge Ibaka came in.
Mm.
So we all around the same age, man. We just did kid shit, you know. Like we at the mall, we going on the road, we in the malls walking around. Like KD is just in the mall by himself. I mean, he was big. He was who he was now. You
Right,
know, people
right.
still knew him, but he wasn't. You know, he wasn't a superstar
Facts.
yet.
Yeah.
He just walking around the mall, just hanging out, man. It was cool. Locker room funny. Um, so man, it was like we were in college,
Yeah.
basically, because we were
Yeah.
so young, hanging out. You know, we all like me, Jeff, and KD. We stayed in the same neighborhood. You know, I remember times. You know, we be Jeff got the chef, KD got we just chilling. So man, we just hung out a lot. You know, but one thing about those guys, I know a lot of people they don't understand how those type of guys work. You know, I wasn't on that level as far as talent, but those guys, man, KD worked like I never seen before. Like you come in the gym, he already got before practice, full sweat. After practice, want to play ones. You know, we used to play spots of ones. You know, you can't stop him, but it's just that his competitiveness, his drive to get better. There's no question why he is where he is. And Russell also, like Russell came in just competitive, want to work. You know, those pull-up shots he do, he shot a million. I seen him shoot a million of those, you know. And then, you know, a guy like James Harden, his thing is swag. Like I remember the first time I met him, it was his draft workout. He walking around the facility with his shirt off. I'm like, who is this guy? just his, just his.
Ah,
He ain't even drafted yet. He
I'm
walking
about to
around.
say he ain't even picked
He wasn't
yet.
drafted yet. This is his draft. Just confident. Just he was just confident, believed in himself, and he worked too. And
Did you
look at
see
those.
the star? Did you see the star potential in like each of those guys, the way that it is played out now?
I saw it. Honestly, I saw it in KD. That was a given, and I saw it in James. Russ, I didn't see it in, but
Mm,
like just looking at him. But the work he put in, I
yeah.
understand why it happened. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Russ, I won't say Russ had that talent that James and the KD did,
Right.
but his work ethic is what set him apart.
But he was a defender at UCLA, right? I mean,
Exactly.
it was Aaron Aflalo, Kevin Love,
Yeah.
Collison. Like it
Yeah.
was a loaded team.
Yeah. He was a defender. Like he came in my draft class. They took him at 4. And me, him, and Serge was in our draft class, and he wouldn't. They didn't think they had no idea that he for
But
you know what I mean.
they converted him to a 1. I think that was like the forward thinking too of the
Yeah.
OKC management at the time to
Yeah.
make him a big athletic point guard, right? At a time where like point guards just still kind of came down the court and just facilitated.
And that wasn't his thing at all. Like, I mean, that's just
Right,
it's
right.
just
He downhill, baby.
downhill. He going one way, and he
Yep.
going hard.
Yep.
So that's his thing. They did a great job, man.
For
OKC
sure.
drafted back in the day when you look it up, their draft picks and continued success. So they did a great job with those guys for sure.
For sure. So you talked about, the tough, tumultuous journey that you kind of had to experience where you got drafted as the dream and then boom, you got to have that surgery and you're out. Like now that obviously affects your standing with the team. Where did you go next? Was it, were you released? Were you traded? Like how was the rest of your NBA career after that?
I was traded, so I spent 2.5 years in OKC. Then I played, but not as much. I'm behind. At that time, like I said, Serge came on. You got Nick Collison, those guys. So I get it. It is a business. There's a lot of guys might not understand. You got to understand the business side of that thing too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
That's right.
but I went on to Charlotte, and in Charlotte, I got to play a good amount. Did well there. So I went from Charlotte to Boston to Charlotte, and then after that, that's when I started my journey in Europe.
So was this when Jordan was running Charlotte?
Yeah,
Like he had taken
Jordan.
over?
Yeah, Jordan
Gotcha.
had taken over. Yeah, so I
What
got.
what was that like?
I had got a chance to meet him in high school.
Okay.
So the shock of the GOAT or the greatest
Yeah.
was kind of over because I had that shock a long time ago. So
Yeah.
it was, it got to the point where I walk in the training room and he might be in there like, "What's up, MJ?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds funny, but it
Right.
got to that point where it was like, "Oh, that's just MJ." You know what I
Right.
mean?
But
But
he
it,
still had that competitive, like,
oh yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah. He looked at us. We was trash to him. We was trash to him. He definitely still got that. I mean, that's what they call
That's
him,
what
Black.
makes,
Yeah,
Black Jesus, Black Cat,
yeah. I
whatever
mean,
nickname you want.
yeah. He looking at us like, come on, man. You
Yeah.
can't. That's the
Yeah.
greatest.
Yeah.
So
But that's what made him who he is. That's
that's
why
true.
he's where he at. I love that. Love that. So talk about your transition because this is a huge transition. I think it's almost downplayed. Like when NBA guys have to make the choice, do they want to, stop early, retire, or continue playing overseas? Like me coaching overseas, I've run into players that can't make that jump. Like they cannot figure out the culture shock, the
Yeah.
difference in game, just everything being the opposite of what they thought they knew. How did you first make the choice to go overseas and then navigate that? And then, bro, you've been like not only a veteran for years overseas and made good money, but bro, you're one of the like sought after upper echelon, like, you were a real guy. Like you've done real work overseas. Talk about that.
I feel a part of it too, and a little bit different from what you
Okay.
actually was being humble.
Mm.
Because you have a lot of guys and it don't work. This doesn't work overseas. Like you come from being in the league, you this and that, and you go over there and think that's gonna work. That's
Right.
not gonna work over there. You gotta you gotta humble yourself because they don't care about that.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? So for me, it's just embracing another opportunity to play basketball. I mean, like I said, I understood the business side of it. It's either retire at what 26, 27, or go over here and make a good living and go and still do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, we getting paid to play the game of basketball. You know, not many people can say that. So I just went over there with that attitude, and man, I loved it. Getting to see different. I'm living in Italy, man. You know what I mean? I'm traveling around Europe. Like, how many
This ain't
people?
Alabama.
Yeah, how many people can say they did that? So I just started to embrace the culture, embrace my teammates, and things like that. Just made myself comfortable over there. You know, at that time I wasn't married or didn't have kids and all that. So I could really go and dive in and embrace the culture and just have fun, man. Still playing this game of basketball. You know, I feel like, it's even playing overseas. A lot of people be like, I just go play overseas. It ain't that easy.
Yeah, you ain't just going to play overseas.
I hate when people say that I just go overseas and play. It takes a special person. Like you say, you're away from your family, different languages. They think their way, some of the coaches, is getting better. The way they think about the game is totally different than what you grew up in. So some might be stupid to you, but it's just their way of life, how they do it over there, especially China. You know how that goes. It's a different world.
That's another interview. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, it's world. So you got to deal with all that type of stuff. You just got to be mature enough and understand how they do business, and keep your mouth shut and play basketball. You know what I mean? Do your job. So it's different over there.
What countries have you lived in and played in?
Italy, Spain. I was there for like a month. China. I spent most of my time in Turkey, and then I played in Korea to finish up my career. So,
got you. Yeah. My boy got a quick bag to go out to Korea.
That's all it was, man. It was and then I played in Puerto Rico this past summer. That Korea and the Puerto Rican, it was just a bag to send my way.
Quick bag. That's when I knew you were the guy. I was like, yo, we got workouts next week. I'll be back. I gotta, and then he was back in like a week. And
that honestly, bro, was the easiest money of my career. Going to, I was there for 5 days and got paid. Played in 3 games, went 0 for 3 and came back home. But that's also too, I knew when I was finished. But we could talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, I knew I was done after that.
No, that's big time though. The fact that you got to see the world, do it all in a manner, like you said, with humility. I think that's the most important thing that you said, is that you took on the mindset and the heart to just like learn, to accept, to adjust. A lot of the Americans that I've encountered, overseas, not just players, but also coaches that struggle, are the ones that cannot lay down like whatever they grew up in. So like, you're American, I'm American, you're a Black African-American male, so am I. There's certain things that come with that. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't eat that. I don't go there. I don't do this. I'm not wearing that. You know, why we watching this? Why? And when you live abroad, you start realizing you're a citizen of the world. Like you're just a human at the end of the day. That's the first thing. It's like, bro, I'm a human being with some other humans. And we all live on this same planet. Let me just open my eyes for a second. And what I learned, and I know this is your interview, but what I learned was most of the world is actually the same. It's us who are like the oddball. You know what I mean? Our metric system, how we measure distance, time, holidays, food, like just the way we move, man, is like we're the oddball. But everybody else is more similar.
I agree. I definitely agree. And it's like, I've learned also over there, and I brought this back. My wife hated. I'm like, how you said, minimalist?
Yeah, minimalist. Yeah.
Minimalist. I guess I'm not extreme, but I'm to that point where it's a lot of stuff I go over there, like I don't need when I come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like us in America, like, is the bigger the better, or we need all this, we need all that. I mean, over there, man, I'm rotating my out. I don't need all this fancy stuff, jewelry. Like, man, I don't care about all that over there. So that type of stuff too, it opens your eyes to just more than, I mean, you're over there for basketball, but like you said, you over there, you just see people and how they move and how we move. You know, the food is different. Like it's just, I don't know. I'm glad I went over there. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Just
Facts.
open my eyes and understand just different things about different people, respect different cultures. So that part of it was pretty
That's
cool.
right. Yeah.
Taught me a lot of life lessons for sure.
I think it just frees you. Like it does something to your peace of mind and your ability to be one with just yourself, to travel and to be exposed like that. But let's use that as a segue, and this is kind of where I feel like we can wrap it up if you cool with it. Talk a lot, not a lot, talk a little or a lot, whatever you want, about fatherhood, about, you know, transitioning to that family man that you are now, and just the perspective that it's giving you, you know, the way your priorities are different now, even just how it helps you to see the world. Because one thing that was impressive for me in getting to know you was just how you are with your girls, how you are, you know, with your wife, you know, and the conversations that we had about life outside of the game. So whatever you can share on that.
Man, I just learned, man, it's going through years of worried about me. It ain't about me no more. It's about those three little girls and my wife. So for me, I just want to lead by example in a world where, you know, stuff can be crazy and you can get influenced by certain things. I just want them to always have that example of how things are supposed to be done, or what I try to do. Because like I tell my oldest, because she understands more than the other two, like I'm not always gonna be perfect. You know, I'm teaching you to the best of my ability of what I know and what I think is right. So that's just what I try to live by, man. Just setting a great example for them, and also just try to provide for them the best I can. You know what I mean? Because I just, you know, that's just my world. You know what I mean? I
Yes,
don't
sir. Yes,
know how to
sir.
put that in how you feel about your kids, man. And you know, it's just a special thing. Like I I brought them in this world. They didn't ask to be here, so it's on me to be that light and to, you know, try to guide them, man. So it's changed me tremendously as a person. You know, being married to my wife, just slowing down, you know, not doing certain things you used to do, going out and doing all this, man. It's just calmed my life down, made me see things from a different perspective. Like, man, I'm solely family, man. I don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I barely go eat. We know on the road. I'm just in the room on FaceTime with the fam, reading. You know
Right,
how
right,
we
right.
both like to read. We talked
Yes,
about
sir.
that. So,
Yes, sir.
man, having a family was probably the best thing that's happened to me. You know, I know, you know, if you ain't ready for it, you're not ready for it. But for me, man, it just, you know, it did a lot, especially going back to basketball at the end of my career. It helped. I feel like that helped me play longer.
Mm.
Uh, you know, settling down, having a family, having something to work for. You know, wife got me eating right. You know, in the house
Yeah.
doing the right, putting the
Yeah.
right things in my body. So that kind of prolonged my career. So man, shout out my family, man. You know,
Shout
it
out to them.
means a lot for sure.
Shout out to them. Gotta give them their flowers, man. That's huge,
Yeah.
bro. So now you've transitioned, playing career is over. You made that decision this summer. Actually, shoot, in the middle of a workout. Like
Yeah.
we on the court, and I'm like, all right, this is a good thing. I think this is great. Like, no, I'm playing. I support it 100%. But
Yeah.
it was in the middle of a workout. You figured out like, yeah, bro, I'm probably done.
I'm done. That's funny, bro. Before I get into that, everybody listen, this man right here is the reason I'm where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Straight up, man. Just because it's like I knew, but I didn't know. And you kind of like, man, go head on. You know what I mean? You can push me in a way. And then, you know, shout out you again. You reached out to a lot of people you knew to put me in this position to be able to interview with a couple teams. So, man, I appreciate you for that, because that was selfless in itself. So, man, I definitely owe you that respect, and I always remember that. So I appreciate that, man.
All love, fam. I'll do it again. I'll do it a million times. So now
Yeah.
you don't even have to mention that. But
Yeah.
yeah, my boy in the middle of the workout.
It's like, man, so I'm 36 now, and my last couple years overseas, it's like I got during that COVID year, I was hurt. That's my first time in my career having injuries. I went the whole, I played 14 total. I went all that year, no major issues besides,
Wow.
I had jaw surgery, my rookie year in the league. But I started having issues, man. I'm out, missing games. I'm overseas, missing my family, and I'm like, I don't know.
This ain't it.
And I was under contract for another year, so I just went on. I can't turn down no money like that and give it back. Just went on and did it. Then I went to Korea, turned out that money, and then that's when we met up and everything like that. Man, it's like but you've been doing this thing so long, you just ain't ready to give it up. And I know, if a lot of athletes they listen to this and they understand you've been doing something 25 years. It's kind of is not you, but it is you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to walk away from that. But at the end of the day, when you have a calling and when you have a feeling, man, you just got to go with that. And I just had that feeling as me and you talked, and it was just time for me to walk away because I didn't love it like I did. Like you said, if I'm in the middle of the workout asking you questions, it's over. It's over. So man, I went on and the thing is, how we talk, I had no idea this was gonna happen so soon. I was reaching out, me and you was talking. I'm reaching out to various people, thinking, all right, let's do this next summer. And man,
that was your plan. That was your plan.
And it happened. I said, I'm done. I'm gone. So here I am, man. That's just how it happened.
Wifey was a little scared. She was a little nervous. She like, hold up.
Because I've been playing basketball for I've known her 10 years. So it was scary, but she supported me. She understood the goal, the vision. And that's what made it more comfortable. At first, she wasn't going for it though.
For sure. But you gotta have wifey on your side. Got to.
That's true. That's true. And another thing I want to hit on too, if we got time, man, is like, you did a tremendous, favor for me reaching out, but also it's like, and I try to tell my kids this, is like, you gotta, wherever you do in life, wherever you at, you gotta try to leave a good impression, because you never know what's gonna happen in the future, who might help you do something, whatever, man. Because I'm not bragging on myself, but I just want to teach a lesson to young guys is, man, I haven't talked to these people where I'm at now, the team I'm at, and basically since I left. I mean, I've seen them here and there. Wow. But 14, 15 years later, one phone call, no interview, got me where I'm at right now. And it's because of, think how you say it. It's not who you know, it's how they know you. I think I'm saying that right.
Yep.
So
shout out to Coach Jamal Mosley from the Magic who told me
that. You put that on me, but leaving a good impression. You know what I mean? And that, through this business, man, of basketball or whatever you're doing in life, you just never know. But that's even being a good human, being a good person, just treating people the right way, not leaving a bad taste, but sometimes you know how that go.
Yeah.
sometimes it's not all sweet like that. But
the
majority of things, leaving a good impression and just doing what you're supposed to do and just being a good person, man, you never know how that's going to come back and affect you later on in life. So, I was fortunate and blessed to, hey man, where I am right now. Hopefully I can continue here for another 15 years, 20 years in this circle I'm in. So
yes, sir. Man, I just have to take the time, and I know I've already done it, but I gotta do it again, just to give you your flowers as an individual. Like, I have to take the time to give you your flowers, bro. The depth of the individual that you are, the person that you are, the integrity and the character that you have, bro, it's different. And we're in a world where a lot of people are like goated or crowned or given, a lot of accolades and the approval and applause before they've done anything. like before they've actually built anything or added value or just really left a mark.
Right.
And so for you, man, just to like so eloquently like describe, you know, not just like the playing career and, you know, what you've done on the court, but just how you go about making sure that you're trying to bring value to other people. Like I said, I have to salute you, bro, because we need more. We need more people like you. We need more individuals who, you know, are true to themselves, who are solid, who you can just set your watch by. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that you're perfect and you don't have any flaws, but I think just your ability to be aware of your flaws and, you know, not make light of the fact that, you know, you have a talent or that you have, you know, been blessed, but to like understand that like that comes with responsibility, bro. That's 100. So salute to you, bro. Congrats on your opportunity in OKC, but it's just the beginning. You know that, I know that, and you're gonna intimidate a lot of people. You know, I know we talk about it offline. I won't go too deep into it, but you know, greatness and just consistency it scares folks, and it puts them on their heels because now they realize they better be on their ish, like they can't half step, you know. So don't be surprised if you have some pushback, you know, and you know that. So
no doubt.
for sure. But
Appreciate it. You hit on something else too, is consistency, man. It's just not just myself, but like just back to speaking on like KD and all that. It's consistent every day.
Yeah.
Wake up and be the same person or work on what you're working on. That plays a part, you know, just being consistent in what you're doing and your approach. That's big time what you just said, no doubt.
For sure. It's the key to success at the end of the day. Like, you know, you got to hit that same spot, you know, over and over and over until it cracks, and then until it breaks, and then until it opens, and everything that you've been waiting for is on the other side. But man, tell the people how they can find you, follow you, you know, if you have social media, if there's any way that they can, you know, just keep up with your journey. How could they do that?
I'm on social media, man. I'm not on it a lot, but I definitely check it. So Instagram, excuse me, Wayne Jr. _3. And I think on Twitter, I'm DJ White _3 or something like that. I need to go. but
Hey,
I'm on
man,
those.
I will check for y'all, and I will make sure that it's posted and that everybody has it. My man is a worker, so he ain't got time. But like you said, he checks it so he can respond. But
no doubt.
It's all positivity at the end of the day. If you follow DJ, it's all encouragement and just motivation. And you know, like I said, we want to make sure that y'all know how to connect with him and how to just keep track of what he's doing, because you can learn from him from afar. DJ, man, thank you so much for your time, bro. Thank you so much just for sharing, telling some stories that, you know, I didn't even know, and we had never even sat down and talked about. It's huge for you to be able to do this in the middle of the season. Thank you, brother.
Nah, anytime, bro. Thanks
for
having me.
For sure. Well, coaches, players, everybody watching and tuning in, thank you guys. Make sure you stay tuned. Hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you're following on social media at The Transition. Make sure you share this with anybody that you think it could bless, or somebody that maybe it can motivate. I'm going to be coming back with a lot more. I've got so many more NBA, NCAA, just quality people, man. I'm not doing it really for the clout. I'm just trying to give you guys passionate individuals who can help motivate you. But we signing out one-on-one right here with DJ White, All-American, Hall of Famer, NBA pro, overseas pro, just a dope individual. DJ, appreciate you again, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for everybody listening, man. Appreciate you.
All right, y'all. We out of here.